What's up, girl gang? Welcome back to the girls room. Today will not be a full episode because I have so much going on. So I'm going to give you a quick
Wake up. It's the first of the month.
I can't. I'm gonna give you a quick little life update just to fill you in. First of all, I have 331 subscribers, which is insane. So thank you so much to all of the new people that are here. I'm so happy to have you here. I've been going live on YouTube a lot, and that's really been helping me grow my presence while I haven't been able to create sit down content. So I'm really thankful for everyone. Look at my nail color. I'm like obsessed with it. It's like neon orange. I decided to get a bright color to try and cheer me up. So just a little bit about what's going on. I told you guys we were supposed to be going to Fire Island for Pride, which was the last weekend of June. And unfortunately, we came home that Friday from work. We were supposed to be leaving Saturday morning. Honestly, the timing worked out because I'm so glad that it happened in our house and like while we were here, not while the dogs were like being watched with Amanda's sister, because that would have just been so scary for her, first of all. And well, you don't know what happened, but I'm going to tell you what happened. So scary for her to go through, first of all, and like just really stressful to get Rue what she needs. So my 4-year-old French bulldog, Rue, was diagnosed with a degenerative spine disease 3 years ago. It was like right before Thanksgiving. She had her first episode. So it is called ivdd, and it's a neurological disorder that affects the discs, the spine, the disc material, and the nerves and things like that. It can look different in every single dog. So it just really depends. Some dogs have it multiple times, multiple places. So the first time it happened, was 3 years ago, and we came home. We were out, and she was having a seizure and foaming from the mouth, and we thought she ingested something, obviously. So we ran to the ER. It was a whole fiasco. They did x-rays. They sent us to her regular vet. They thought it was her hips, because French bulldogs have hips that if you look at on an x-ray, it looks like their hips are basically like kind of detached from their body. That's what it looks like. But in reality, there is a lot of muscle there in between because they're kind of meaty. So it's just kind of a Frenchie build. And these doctors just weren't, versed in what was going on. So we were sent to an orthopedic specialist by our regular vet. And then the orthopedic specialist was like, no, this is neurological. You need to go see a neurologist. So she sent us to Blue Pearl in the city, and that is where we met Rue's neurologist. After having an MRI, she told us she had IVDD, and at the time, it was not as severe as it was now. So it was in the middle of her spine. And just to get a little bit scientific with you guys, because if this could help anyone that has a Frenchie or a dachshund or dachshund, I don't know what they're called, the hot dogs. I think Pomeranians get it too. But basically, the disc material, or basically the discs have like a filling inside of them that is basically like a cushiony jelly sort of thing that supports them. It keeps the discs hydrated. So when these dogs get IVDD, the inside of the disc dehydrates. And what happens is when it dehydrates, it starts to push up and out. So all the disc material starts pushing out of their spine and sort of, or not out of their spine, out of their discs and bulging out into their spine. So you get disc material that needs to be removed. So the first time it happened, she had one that was sticking up in the middle of her spine, and it was something that they felt could heal on its own with crate rest and pain meds and things like that. Now, we were always careful with Rue. So if you have any of these type of dogs that can get this, no jumping up and down off furniture, no stairs. Zoomies can really be bad. Like, there's only so much you can control, but this dog does not do stairs. She doesn't jump on or off any furniture. We pick her up. Like, we're very, very careful with her. Obviously, dogs will be dogs. She's like a little jumping bean when she sees people and she's excited. So jumping on the hind legs is also really, really bad. But they're dogs and you want to let them be dogs, right? So you can only control so much. So we had a really long crate rest the first time. She made a full recovery, but she was, a little bit wobbly sometimes, but she regained her strength back. So that was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I think. Fast forward to the end of June 2024, we came home from work and she was in her bed and she went to get up to greet us and she started screaming. Like, I've never heard a dog scream like this, screaming at the top of her lungs. And her back legs were fully paralyzed. It was the scariest thing I think I've ever seen, like ever, honestly. It was so heartbreaking and scary. Now we know what it is, but we were like, this seems like a new part of her spine. So we rushed her to the ER. We knew she could only really see her specialist to figure out what we needed to do. And the ER wouldn't be able to do much besides pain management, but that's what we needed. So we rushed her to the ER. That was on Friday. The neurologist wouldn't be until Monday. So we took her to the ER. They gave us a lot of pain meds. And we were able to take her home. Now, over the weekend on Sunday or on Saturday night, we're like, she hasn't used the bathroom. Like, she hasn't peed at all. She was doing the other stuff, but she wasn't urinating. So I was getting scared because that could mean that the nerves are affected and that her bladder's not working. Or it could mean that she was just in too much pain to squat, so she was holding it in. Could really be either. Could be from the meds. Could be all of the above. But it's not good for just like us to hold all of that urine in. So we called the vet on Saturday night and they said, if she doesn't go by tomorrow morning, bring her back to the ER. So Sunday morning, she still hadn't gone. It was over 24 hours. We took her back to the ER where they tried to manually express her bladder 2 times. It didn't work. They have to be really careful when they do that. So they placed a catheter. And they transferred her to Blue Pearl Midtown, which is where her neurologist was on Sunday night, to be seen Monday morning. That's really the only way to get her in without an appointment through emergency. And also it was best for her to be there anyway with the catheter in and all the medication that she needed. It just was safer for her to not be here and us trying to basically not fuck up. Like, it was scary with that in, if she accidentally takes it out. Like, there's just so many moving parts. So she stayed in the ER and she was seen on Monday morning. They did an MRI and then the doctor told us, I think she should have surgery. So the thing with this surgery, we decided to go through with it. She's only 4 years old. I think people think that she's like an old dog. She's only 4 years old and she's strong. She's got a lot of life to live. People do put their dogs down with this condition, which I try not to judge people, but you shouldn't get a certain breed of dog without like doing your research on what they need. And if you didn't do your research and you have a dog that's young and full of life, you got to do what you got to do. Dogs are our responsibility. And the cost is truly insane. It really is. Luckily, we did get some relief. So many amazing people donated and helped us. And if you guys listen to this at all, thank you so much. Whoever donated, even if you shared it, anything you did was truly, truly so helpful and helped us so much. A little bit helps, and I really, really, really appreciate everyone who did help. So thank you so much. I've never done like a GoFundMe or anything like that in my life, but we really needed the assistance. Who just has $25,000 just laying around? So, you're just putting it on credit cards and trying to dig yourself out of the hole, but you got to do what you got to do when it's a living being, especially when it's not like, okay, they're never going to have quality of life. Like, she will. So we decided to go through with the surgery. because people do try and manage this at home. They take them home, they crate rest them for weeks, they put them on pain meds, and they try to keep the activity low. But ultimately, the condition gets worse. And if it gets worse, it could get worse in the same place, which means she would be in even more pain than she was that first time that it happened, like with this episode, which I can't imagine any worse pain for her. That was truly, we have PTSD from all of it. And we were like, okay, so we don't want to do that because it puts so much stress on the owner to try and nurse the dog back and then not get them hurt in the same area. Because if it gets worse, either it's going to be in the same area or it's going to be in the same area and a new area, because what happens is the spine becomes compressed. So when they do the surgery, they remove the disc material to create some air, and you don't have this compressed spine. So with her, it was in her lower lumbar. And you know, if you look at the build of a Frenchie or like a hot dog, like they've got these long spines, big chests, and little tiny legs. So if you just think of how off balance they are, like that's where it all comes from. They don't have like as much stability. If they have a tail, they have a little bit more stability, but you know, everything just gets super compressed and condensed, and this is what can happen. Luckily with Rue, the compression was in one area. It was pretty localized. It wasn't in multiple parts of her back, because what could happen, like I said, if you like wait, the dog could have it in their lower back and then get it in the top of their back. And now you have to do 2 different surgeries, because I don't think they can do that all at once. So we were really banking on the MRI to give us some answers, and it did. Thankfully, it was localized to that one area. But with her age, like I said, she's only 4, and at 4 years old, she has the strength to recover. She can go through the surgery. You know, it's really a risk putting a French bulldog through under anesthesia because of the breathing issues. So it's insane how quick all of this went. Like, I can't believe it's been like 2 weeks, because we've been in such a whirlwind. We don't even know like what day it is. So you don't have like much of a window. Once the dog is under, they're under, and they want to operate on that dog like right away, because they're not going to put them under 2 times, which is understandable. She did have some trouble with breathing during the surgery, and they can aspirate, and it's just a scary thing to do. So you're just, imagine for any dog owner that's been through anything like this, it's really intense. You're making these crazy decisions under a lot of pressure, and you want to make the right one because you want to give the dog the best quality of life possible. And like I said, people do put their young dogs down with this surgery because of the cost. The cost is truly insane. My advice for any dog owners, make sure you have really, really good coverage for your dogs. Trupanion is amazing. I think Happy Paws is supposed to be good, but make sure you have good coverage to cover your ass, and get it from when they're puppies so that they can't tell you something is pre-existing. That's my advice for that. But yeah, we felt like if we tried to manage it at home without surgery, what would happen is this would happen again. It would be worse. She would be in more pain. The chances of her recovering from it and not being paralyzed just get smaller and smaller. And we're already paying for the MRI and doing that. We would have to do this whole thing all over again, pay for another MRI, and then do the surgery. So it's like you wind up doubling the cost. And we wanted to just nip it in the bud. So people's dogs do wind up needing this surgery more than once on different parts of the spine, which really sucks. So we're going to hope and pray that she is one of the dogs that doesn't, because some of them do go into remission and live happy lives and are okay. Careful, happy lives, and are okay. Good thing Frenchies, for the most part, they're bulldogs, so they do like chilling. And they're not like crazy active. So that is a benefit. And it's a benefit that she is already trained to not jump up and down off things or do stairs or anything like that. She won't even dare or try. So the update on her is that she is in recovery. Surgery went well. She has full motion back in her legs, which is incredible. She got it back the next day after surgery, which is really, really, really fast. And that's why I say, like, she's young and she's strong. So it was a good time to do it. And all of the bladder stuff resolved itself. It was a nerve issue, most likely, and the nerves recouped after we got some of that pressure off of her spine. And yeah, everything is looking much better. We did have to get a stroller for her, so I'm one of those dog moms now. If you see a dog in a stroller, most likely they're in a stroller because there's something wrong, just to let you know. Because I think some people look at us like, oh, like Frenchie in a stroller, like these assholes. But like usually it's because the dog can't walk, or the dog's old, or the dog's blind. Like you really don't know what the deal is. So yeah, just wanted to say that because now I feel like I have to walk by people and be like, she just had surgery. Like, stop looking at me like that. So she does have her movement back. We are able to get her to walk with a sling for some aid, but she can stand and do a little walking on her own. She's just very wobbly. She looks a little bit drunk, is how they like to say it, like a little drunk walk. Some issues placing her feet, which she kind of had that already from the first time, where if she was too active, she would have issues like placing her foot, pulling it back in, like feeling where her foot actually is. So that happens. But she's on the road to recovery. It's been a long, I guess, 2 weeks. It's been such a weird time and whirlwind. And yeah, I'm just really grateful that she was able to have this surgery and get her movement back. And I'm really grateful for everyone that helped us. And I'm really grateful for everyone that's here on my channel, that's new, old, all of it. I really can't thank you guys enough. So thank you so much. Thank you for the well wishes. Thank you for the prayers. Anything like that, like, helped. Truly, it really, really did. So yeah, I just I'm really glad that she's okay. But I do imagine this might be what having newborns like, because she's a little better now, but in the beginning she was up every few hours. Like, she didn't have control over like her pee, so she was just peeing her bedding all the time. So we had to like change it, get her up, clean her up, do all this stuff, and it was a lot. So I'm glad that that's chilled out a little bit, but we've just been like lacking sleep majorly and we are exhausted. So anyway, that's my life update. I just wanted to get on here and do a little something since I haven't been able to do a full episode, and I wanted to talk to you guys about this because it's a big part of my life. My dogs are my everything. They are my kids, and you know, she's got such a good big sister who totally knows what's up. Those pit bulls, they know what's up. They're so sensitive. They feel everything and they know what's going on. Um, and I'm also so grateful because going through this with Amanda solidified what an amazing partnership we have. Like, obviously, everyone bickers and has their things, and we're both sleep deprived. And I get so cranky. I'm a shell of a person when I don't sleep. And her and I are just so good at dividing up the tasks and helping each other and leaning on one another. And when one's breaking down, the other one has it together. And when the other one's breaking down, the other one has it together. So it's a good balance. Nobody's breaking down at the same time. So it's great because everybody needs their own minute to have a mental breakdown and cry, and needs a hug and needs some support, and vice versa. And it just solidified what an amazing partner I have, and how good we work together. So I'm really, really grateful for that because, you know, trying times, I'm so tired. Trying times really test your relationship. When things are going wrong, that's the real test and testament to your relationship, to your communication, to all of it. And obviously we're not perfect, but you know, we never have blowout fights or anything. We're not like disrespectful. We're just like talking through it, and like we kind of get over shit really quickly because it's like mostly bickering about little things, and because we're cranky and tired and PMSing and not sleeping and all of the things. So I'm really grateful to have a partner that we can go through something horrific and just hold hands through it, fight a little bit, but get out of the other side. And all of my amazing friends that have been incredible support, offering help and trying to help, and just offering like support, checking in, all of that. I remember that stuff, and I remember the ones who don't. And I'm very petty when it comes to my dogs. So for all the people that had nothing to say to me, anyway, that is my life update. And also because anytime I see anything about an animal, I always share it or do what I can. For the most part, I try to, especially if it's someone that I know. So anyway, people know what my dogs mean to me. And if I talk to you at all, you should say something, I would imagine. But people will be people, and I will just every time in my little notebook, I got notes because I'm a pretty supportive friend. But anywho, I'm gonna go because I am really backed up on work. So this is a little 20-minute ivdd lesson and life catch up. And I really appreciate, I can't talk. I really appreciate you guys. I need some sleep. I literally did a mat Pilates workout yesterday. It was like a 30-minute workout. I do Pilates by Raven here on YouTube. And I was stretching on the mat after the workout, and I fell asleep on my stomach like this after the workout. Like literally knocked out cold after the workout. Amanda was like, "Are you kidding me? Like you're dead on the floor. Like you literally are passed out." That's how tired I am. I'm not one of those people that can like run on like 5 minutes of sleep like Amanda is. I am not. I need like 8 to 10 hours, and I need it. Otherwise, I'm a shell of a person. And then I need like a week to catch up when I don't get it. So I'm catching up on work, I'm catching up on sleep, and we're still, you know, dealing with this recovery. It'll be 6 to 9 weeks. So this is what I could get out this week. Hopefully next week I have the bandwidth, like the office people say, to talk about other things. We'll see how I'm doing next week. All right, guys, I love you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, follow. And if you have any questions, concerns, problems, anything, you know where to send it, tgrpod.nyc@gmail.com. Love you. Bye.